stepbros and stephoes, welcome back to the channel. My name is Krayons, and today we are going to get into a very long-awaited video and arguably the rite of passage for every gun tuber in the modern day, and that would be a review on the BCM Enhanced Lightweight Upper Receiver. Now, for disclosure to you guys, so you'll know how I'll be grading this, let's talk about why I bought the gun and what I'm using it for. So, my first AR-15 ever, not counting other uppers, was a Radical RF-15. Long story short, the gun sucked, and I wanted a replacement for the upper that would serve as a durable, long-lasting fighting carbine. I wanted it to survive higher round counts. I wanted it to be accurate. I wanted it to be lightweight. I wanted it to be soft recoiling, and I wanted it to be reliable. And for those, since that's such a loosely defined term, I wanted no jams or malfunctions within 1,000 rounds. So it met all of those criteria very, very well. And we will get into why in just a second. Now, back to the video. So, for those of you who are curious what garbage I have strapped to my rifle, let's get into that real quick. For those of you who don't care and are only interested in the gun, I will have a timestamp on screen to when the actual review begins. Up here we have an EOTech EXPS3-0. It is a very, very nice optic. I would recommend it to anyone who have EOTech G33. Very nice optic combo. We'll talk about it in their respective reviews. We have a BCM Gunfighter Mod 2 foregrip up here. Really nice angle. Lets you get a nice grip on the gun. BCM rail scales. We have a Olight Odin Mini. The thing sucks. Again, talk about it in its own review. And then we have a Holosun Razor up here. We have a Holosun IR and visible laser up here. Now, while I am a filthy degenerate poor and do not have the money to afford night vision, what this allows me to do is to be able to, at an affordable price, test these rails for you guys and tell you whether or not they hold zero. So now I can get more information out to you, the consumer. Also, it just, light and laser combos just look fucking cool. Yeah, it's drip or drown and brother on float. So, up to the muzzle device, we have a Surefire Warcomp. This is an excellent muzzle device. It is a combination flash hider and compensator, and it does both jobs exceptionally well. Also, suppressor host, I can't attest to the performance on that because, again, I'm a filthy degenerate poor and can't afford that. Also, they're quite expensive. Also, I'm 19, I can't fill out NFA paperwork, so it kind of held back there. And for the ATF, since this is 14.5 inches, if you notice here, you can see the pin for the pin and weld because this is a permanently attached muzzle device, therefore bringing it up to a legal 16 inches. Thank you, ATF, your rules and regulations are lame and gay. Now, let's dig into the guts of this gun. More specifically, the heart of the gun, the barrel. I don't know how left-handed people live with themselves. This is bad. This is real bad. So this barrel is made of mil-spec barrel steel, certified Mil B11595E. If it sounds robotic to you, that is because I'm reading it off of my screen currently. It utilizes a 1 in 7 twist rate. It is a lightweight profile barrel, more on that in a second. It's got a chrome-lined bore and chamber and has a manganese phosphate barrel finish. To translate from autist into functioning member of society, It is a very durable, lightweight, and accurate barrel. To speak on the accuracy briefly, with good or even midway decent ammo, I'm getting anywhere between 1.5 MOA to 2 MOA, sitting at around 2 MOA using my Hornady Frontier ammo. My dumbass only has proof from when I was sighting in the gun, so I'll show that to you here. With cheaper ammo like Aguila M855, which I had stupidly stockpiled 600 rounds of before even taking it to the range and seeing how the gun performs with it, will typically average around 3 MOA, which doesn't sound great until you consider the military standard is 4 MOA, so even at your worst, you're still outshooting the military. Now, to speak further on accuracy, the barrel, the concern is heat from the barrel, and the heat actually, I don't know what black magic BCM is using on it, but all I know is that it might be considered heretical for me to even be holding this. So, to speak on that real quick, with most lightweight barrels, you'll typically see a shift in point of impact at only around a magazine in, and it will become unbearable to touch at about 3 magazines in. Whatever black magic and curses BCM has put on this has completely resolved that issue. With this gun, I only notice a point of impact shift at about 2 to 3 magazines in, which doesn't sound like an improvement until you consider the fact that the size difference in shot dispersion is only about 1 MOA more. Meaning with your good ammo that's normally averaging around 2 MOA, you're suddenly shooting 3 MOA, still outshooting the military. Cheap ammo, you're at about 3 MOA, adjusted to 4 MOA, so you're on par with the military still. So exceptional accuracy even once it starts to overheat. In terms of getting unbearably hot to the touch, most lightweight barrels, from what I have heard, typically get too hot around like 3 or 4 mags. This one, I'm able to run it till about 5 or 6, and then at 7, it becomes too hot to the touch, even with gloves. So while this might perform a lot better than other lightweight barrels, which, by the way, I didn't mention this is BCM's custom lightweight barrel. They refer to it as the enhanced lightweight. While this might perform better than the other lightweight barrels on the market, due to the heating concerns, I still wouldn't recommend putting a forced reset trigger or even stacking this on top of a automatic lower. BCM themselves don't even recommend it on their website. The barrel itself, I haven't noticed any degradation, whether that be rust or just general corrosion. I haven't even had any point of impact shift over time that was caused by the barrel, only ammunition related problems. And the barrel, the lightweight aspect is very nice due to the enhanced lightweight barrel's nature. It usually tapers off and gets shorter as the barrel goes along, meaning the front end of the gun is the lightest point, which is really nice if you like putting a bunch of garbage at the front of it like I do. So it saves you a lot of weight in combination with something we will get to shortly. So the next thing you might have noticed if you were paying attention was BCM's MCMR 13 handguard. This is their 13-inch variant of the MCMR handguard and synergizes very, very well with the barrel itself to make an overall very lightweight package. So while editing this, I realized I was talking about the lightweight nature of the gun so much, but never actually mentioned just how much this compares to other rifles. The BCM BFH Upper, the 14.5-inch version, weighs about 3 pounds or 12.5 ounces. Now compared to something else that's really popular and high-end, like the Geisley Super Duty, it is 4.875 to 4.985 pounds, which is about 79.76 ounces. So you are getting a massive weight reduction, about like a pound, what is that, pound and a half? Yeah, you're actually more. You're getting a weight reduction of about like 2 pounds off your rifle. And it's mainly on the front end too, so you're really going to feel it. Now this does have its downsides, the rail being a little less durable than usual. I have heard horror stories of people like tripping and falling on their rifles, and the rail will get completely dented in. That's the nature of the beast when you're buying lighter weight barrels. However, for how lightweight it is quite durable. I have thrown it around, I have tossed it around. I roughhouse my guns a lot, haven't had a single issue yet. But that is something to be aware of, but from everything I've heard, it's nothing that makes your gun unusable. Just be aware of that. Now, the handguard might actually be a disadvantage to some of you, because if you notice, it is very, very thin. And for some of you like me who have giant monster paws for hands, it's really inconvenient to try and grab onto these rails when they're so small. This will be solved if you run foregrips like me, do the C-clamp, you have all the shit at the front end. It's like a perfect grip for me now. However, if you're not doing that, if you don't like foregrips, and if you have big hands like me, this might not be a very comfortable rail to hold, so be aware of that. The rail does actually hold 0, and it locks up very, very well. In fact, probably a little too well. If you notice here, it does have that little crossbolt method of securing the handguard to the receiver. It's very, very sturdy. I will show you the bolts on screen and how they essentially lock up. But the thing is, with how secure this thing is, you probably don't even need those bolts, because the barrel isn't the only thing that they heat fit to the upper receiver. They also heat fit the handguard, which makes the thing almost impossible to get off. So keep in mind, if you want to change the handguard, or you want to change the barrel, you're probably going to be having a very, very rough time trying to get it removed. From what I've heard, you have to take a blowtorch to it and then try and slide it off, and even then it's difficult. So hope you like the MCMR 13 handguard. Thankfully the barrel's going to last a long time, 2,000 rounds in, no problems. The handguard also has anti-rotation tabs at the upper receiver. I like the handguard, I think it's nice, but all of that is something you may need to be concerned about. It's something to be aware of. Now, to point out one of the differences between the Mark I and the Mark II Upper, you might notice that the massive bulge that is on the Mark II Upper is gone. The reason that is on the Mark II Upper is to allow more space, so it gets a little less gunked up by grind and it jams up a little bit less. I haven't had a problem with it, but I heard it helps if you're running it suppressed, which we should talk about gassing real quick before we move too far back on the receiver. This is a mid-length gas system, and it does seem to be tuned very, very well. I have heard people say that it is over-gassed. I don't know if they're referring to with suppressor usage or what. In my experience, it has been a little gassy, but the most problems I've had is me being a retard and over-lubing my gun, which is probably why you will see the barrel smoking in a lot of these clips that I put on screen. But the point is that it's gassed really nice in my opinion. I haven't had too much problem with gas back in the face. Again, I don't shoot suppressed, but it's very, very soft recoiling. It's easy to make fast follow-up shots. It's very easy to keep it on target. It's gassed well. I like it. Especially when you combine that with the lightweight nature of it. It's so easy to just swing around on and off target. It's wonderful. Now, to move further back, let's talk about their bolt carrier group. Now, this is the main thing that everyone won't shut the fuck up about. These bolt carrier groups and the BCM bolts are by many considered to be the gold standard for AR-15s. And I would tend to agree. I haven't had a single issue. I don't have any signs of wear and tear at 2,000 rounds on this bolt carrier group. I don't have any inside the receiver. I haven't had my gas rings bust. I haven't had anything come loose. It's very sturdily constructed. It's very strong. In fact, the coating on it is so nice that even the BCM logo is still somehow on there after 2,000 rounds, which just blows my mind. It's amazing. While we're at the bolt carrier group, we should talk about reliability This gun is very, very reliable. I haven't done any mud tests like tossing it in a mud puddle or freezing it or any of that crazy shit that someone like Thumb would do. But I haven't had a single jam or malfunction out of 2,000 rounds, not even with the cheaper ammo. So it is exceptionally reliable. I've even put steel case in it. It runs. It's awesome. It's really, really awesome. It met my reliability standard. In fact, it exceeded it. My standard was I didn't want to see a single jam or malfunction within 1,000 rounds, and it didn't get a single jam or malfunction within 2,000. Now let's talk about another thing that a lot of people take for granted on a lot of companies, especially PSA fanboys who don't know a lot about it. I will get into a schizo rant in a minute, but the point is, BCM has very exceptional quality control. They test fire each of their guns out of the factory to the point where when you get your upper receiver, you will probably still smell a little bit of that gun smoke on the lining of the barrel. I did, and that was a immediate green flag to me. And the reason I'm talking about this is because as a reviewer, when I recommend things to you guys, I like to make sure that you guys are going to have the same great experience that I did. I like to make sure that all the information I'm giving you guys is accurate. And when a company has this great of quality control, I can ensure that. That being said, do I recommend this gun? Well, this gun coming in at about $1,100. I made this comparison in my PSA Saber 10 review, but it's a very, very good gun for the price. This gun punches above its price range. You pair it with a cheap lower like this, which is about $150. That's like a $1,250 gun, and when I shoot this thing, it feels like I am shooting a $2,000 gun. Now, does this mean this is a Gucci AR? No, it's still like high mid-tier. There's better guns than it, but if this is the only rifle you have, then you're going to be very, very well off. This is my point. So, with that being said, if this gun sounds good to you, if you want a lightweight profile barrel, if you want a affordable, rugged fighting carbine, I 100% would recommend this to you. It is exceptional quality for the price range. It's reliable, accurate, soft shooting, everything I wanted from a fighting carbine. And I think it will be for you too. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you step bros and step hoes in the next video. Goodbye.